A very good morning. Today we'll start with the structure of parasympathetic division. We have done with the sympathetic division before. In previous videos, we have done with the sympathetic division of autonomic nervous system. We'll start with the parasympathetic division now. Parasympathetic ganglia are the three. What is the parasympathetic ganglia? Parasympathetic ganglionic axons of the parasympathetic division synapse with postganglionic neurons in the terminal intramural neural ganglia. Most of these ganglia are located close to or actually within the wall of the visceral organ. These parasympathetic ganglia with preganglionic axons of parasympathetic division synapse with postganglionic neurons in terminal intramural ganglia. Okay. Most of these ganglia are located close to or actually within the wall of visceral organs in itself. So terminal ganglia in the head have specific names. They are ciliary ganglion, pterygopalatine ganglion, submandibular ganglion and aortic ganglion. The remaining terminal ganglia do not have specific names, because terminal ganglia are located either close to or in the wall of visceral organ. Parasympathetic ganglionic axons are long, in contrast to parasympathetic postganglionic axons, which are short. Here, like in sympathetic division, the preganglionic axons are short and postganglionic axons are long. In parasympathetic division, it is opposite, because the parasympathetic preganglionic axons are long and that of postganglionic axons are short. Cell bodies of parasympathetic preganglionic neurons are found in nuclei in the brainstem and in the lateral gray matter of the second through fourth sacral segments of the spinal cord. What are the location of these cell bodies of parasympathetic preganglionic neurons are found in the nuclei of brainstem and in the lateral gray matter of second to fourth sacral segments of the spinal cord. Their axons emerge as a part of cranial nerve or as part of anterior root of spinal nerve. This cranial parasympathetic outflow consists of preganglionic axons that extend from the brainstem in the fourth cranial nerves. So these ganglions are the preganglionic axons are extend from the brainstem in the fourth cranial nerves. The four cranial nerves. And the sacral parasympathetic outflow consists of preganglionic axons and anterior roots of second through fourth sacral spinal nerves. The preganglionic axons of both cranial and sacral outflows end in terminal ganglia, where they synapse with postganglionic neurons. Their axons emerge as a part of cranial nerves. The cranial parasympathetic outflow consists of preganglionic axons that extend from brainstem in four cranial nerves and the sacral parasympathetic outflow. So there is two outflows: the cranial parasympathetic outflow as four cranial nerves, and the sacral parasympathetic outflow consists of preganglionic axons in the anterior roots of the second through fourth spinal nerves. The preganglionic axons of both cranial and sacral outflows end in the terminal ganglia, where they synapse with postganglionic neurons. Now, the cranial outflow has four pairs of ganglia, and the ganglia associated with the vagus 10th nerve. Okay, so four cranial nerves are 3rd, 9th, 10th and 5th. Okay, the four pairs of cranial parasympathetic ganglia innervate structures in the head and are located close to the organs they innervate. Okay, now here you can see the four cranial nerves. The third, this structure is showing the structure of parasympathetic division of autonomic nervous system, like solid bones represents preganglionic axons, solid lines represent preganglionic axons, dashed lines represents postganglionic axons. This is the parasympathetic flow. Okay, although the innervated structures are shown only for one side of the body for diagrammatic purpose, the parasympathetic division actually innervates tissues and organs on the both the sides. So it is the picture is showing of one side, but it innervates of the both the sides of the body. Now, cell bodies of the parasympathetic preganglionic neurons are located in the brainstem nuclei and in lateral gray matter in the second through fourth sacral segments of the spinal cord. See, these are the first to fourth. The four cranial nerves ganglia, the cell bodies are in the brainstem. Okay, the cranial nerve 3, cranial nerve 7, 9 and 10. These four cranial nerve cell bodies are present in the brainstem. Then there emerge the preganglionic fibers, which synapses in the four parasympathetic ganglia. Okay, the terminal ganglia like ciliary ganglia for cranial nerve 3, ciliary ganglion, pterygopalatine ganglion. Okay, and for cranial nerve 7, that is the facial nerve. Then there is submandibular ganglion. Okay, and then some part of that is ciliary ganglion, then pterygopalatine ganglion and submandibular ganglion for the cranial nerve 7. Then there is otic ganglion for cranial nerve 9. Then there is cranial nerve 10, the vagus nerve, the largest nerve. There is, it directly innervates to the body because the ganglia is present in the organs itself. So this is the largest because the preganglionic fiber is the longest one in this. You can see the organs have the autonomic ganglia and they are located near or actually in the organs, those ganglia. That's why the vagus nerve is the largest one. Okay, so they innervates the various structures like this in the heart, the atrial nuchal fibers, AV nodes like sinoatrial and atrioventricular nodes, larynx, trachea, bronchi and lungs, they are present there, and liver, gallbladder and bile ducts, they are present in the liver, gallbladder, bile ducts, then on the stomach and the pancreas, then transverse colon, they are present in transverse colon also, then ascending and descending colon. Okay, there's a parasympathetic ganglia are present there also. Okay, now see this. Now you can see this sacral divisions. The pelvic splanchnic nerves, they supplies the other organs, that is also comes under the sacral outflow. The sacral outflow of parasympathetic division. Okay, so this is the sacral outflow, which supplies the kidney, the excretory system, kidneys and ureter. Also supplies the large intestine, the ascending colon and the rectum from the sacral outflow. Okay, then this parasympathetic division of sacral outflow also supplies the external genitals. Okay, the external genitals in the males and the uterus in the females. So these supplies the various organs here in the females. Okay, now so these are the various structures. Now, as I have seen, there's already told, there's the cranial parasympathetic outflow consists of preganglionic axons that extend from brainstem in 4 cranial nerves, and the second parasympathetic outflow consists of preganglionic axons in the anterior roots of the second through fourth sacral spinal nerves. So, and the preganglionic axons of both cranial and sacral outflows and in terminal ganglia where the synapse with the postganglionic neurons. Okay, now we are done with this. Now, the ciliary ganglion. What is the ciliary ganglia? Lie lateral to each optic nerve near the posterior aspect of the orbit. This is for the optic nerve 2 near lateral to the each optic nerve 2. Okay, ciliary ganglia is for the oculomotor third cranial nerve. Okay, the preganglionic axons pass with the oculomotor 3 nerves to the ciliary ganglion. The postganglionic axons from the ganglia innervate smooth muscle fibers in the eyeball. Now, the pterygopalatine ganglia are located lateral to the sphenopalatine foramen between the sphenoid and the palatine bones. They receive preganglionic axons from the facial nerves, that is the 7th cranial nerve, the pterygopalatine ganglia. Okay, in the sphenopalatine foramen between the sphenoid and palatine bones, the ganglia is present inside the cranium. Okay. They receive preganglionic axons from the facial nerve and send postganglionic axons to the nasal mucosa, palate, pharynx and lacrimal glands. So the postganglionic axons innervates the nasal mucosa, palate, pharynx and lacrimal glands. Now, the submandibular ganglia are found near the ducts of submandibular salivary glands. They receive preganglionic axons from the facial nerves and send postganglionic axons to the submandibular and sublingual salivary glands. Okay, the three are the ciliary ganglion, the ciliary ganglia is for cranial nerve 3, pterygopalatine ganglia is for cranial nerve 7, submandibular ganglia near the duct of submandibular gland, they receive this submandibular ganglia also receive fibers, these preganglionic fibers from the facial nerve only and send postganglionic axons to the submandibular and the sublingual salivary glands. So this is the this is all about this ganglions. You can see the various cone. Now, the submandibular ganglia are found near the ducts of the submandibular salivary glands. They receive preganglionic axons from the facial nerves and send postganglionic axons to the submandibular, sublingual salivary glands. So, ciliary ganglion is for cranial nerve 3, the pterygopalatine ganglia and the submandibular ganglia is used for the cranial nerve 7, that is the for the facial nerve. And then the aortic ganglia are situated inferior to each foramen ovale. Okay, they receive preganglionic axons from the glossopharyngeal, that is the 9th cranial nerve. This aortic ganglia is present near the foramen ovale, just inferior to each foramen ovale. They receive preganglionic axons from the glossopharyngeal, that is 9th cranial nerve, and send postganglionic axons to the parotid glands. Preganglionic axons that leave the postganglionic axons of aortic ganglia innervates the parotid salivary glands. The preganglionic axons that leave the brain as a part of vagus nerves carry nearly 80% of total craniosacral outflow. Okay, from the vagus nerve, this preganglionic axons that leave the brain as a part of vagus nerves carry nearly 80% of total craniosacral outflow. Okay, means the vagus nerve is the largest nerve in the human body, and it has the largest preganglionic neuron also. So it carries the 80% of total cranial sacral outflow, and other 20% is by the other three nerves of cranium, other three cranial nerves, and the sacral outflow consists of those in that 20%. So vagal axons extend to many terminal ganglia in the thorax and abdomen. As the vagus nerve passes through the thorax, it sends axons to the heart and the airways of the lungs. Okay, in the abdomen, it supplies the liver, gallbladder, stomach, pancreas, small intestine, and the part of the large intestine. See, vagus nerve passes through the thorax, it sends axons to the heart, the airways of the lungs. It basically supplies in the thorax, it supplies the heart and the airways of the lungs, because it supplies both the thorax and thoracic and abdominal organs. Okay, in the abdomen, it supplies the liver, gallbladder, stomach, pancreas, small intestine, and the part of large intestine. Means you can see the whole digestive system is supplied by the vagus nerve, the heart in the abdomen, starting from the liver, gallbladder, stomach, pancreas, small intestine, and part of large intestine. All is supplied by the vagus nerve. See, vagus nerve is such an important cranial nerve. It supplies the thoracic, means heart, and the airway of the vital organ, the respiratory organ, the lungs, part of the airway of part of lung. Okay, and it also supplies also the abdominal organs. All the digestive system is supplied by the vagus nerve. So this preganglionic nerve fiber of the vagus nerve carries nearly 80% of total cranial sacral outflow. Vagal axon extend to many terminal ganglia in the thorax and abdomen. As the vagus nerve passes through the thorax, it sends axons to the heart and airway lungs. The preganglionic fibers and the postganglionic fibers, the synapse is present in the organ or near to the organ itself. In the abdomen, it supplies the liver, gallbladder, stomach, pancreas, small intestine, and a part of large intestine. Now, the sacral parasympathetic outflow consists of preganglionic axons from the anterior roots of the second through fourth spinal nerves. Previously, you have seen this cranial outflow, now the sacral outflow. So, sacral parasympathetic outflow consists of preganglionic axons from the anterior roots of the second through fourth sacral spinal nerves. Okay. Now, as the preganglionic axons goes through the sacral spinal nerves, they branch of these nerves to form pelvic splanchnic nerves. Okay. So, first they are present from S2, S3 and S4. The preganglionic axons From the anterior roots of the second through fourth sacral spinal nerves forms the sacral parasympathetic outflow. As the preganglionic axons course through the sacral spinal nerves, they branch of these nerves to form the pelvic splanchnic nerves. Okay. Pelvic splanchnic nerves synapse with parasympathetic postganglionic neurons located in terminal ganglia in the walls of the innervated viscera. Okay. So, from the terminal ganglia, parasympathetic postganglionic axons innervate smooth muscle and glands of the walls of colon, ureters, urinary bladder, and reproductive organs. All the pelvic organs are supplied by this parasympathetic of sacral parasympathetic outflow. Okay, so with the pelvic splanchnic nerve synapse with the parasympathetic postganglionic neurons located in the terminal ganglia in the walls of innervated viscera. So what are the viscera which are innervated by this postganglionic sacral sympathetic outflow? The smooth muscle and the glands of walls of colon, the a part of large intestine. Okay, ascending colon, the horizontal colon and the descending colon. The smooth muscles and the glands in the walls of colon is supplied by this parasympathetic in postganglionic axons, the ureters, urinary bladder, and the reproductive organ. This is also supplied by the sacral parasympathetic outflow. I think this is all about the parasympathetic autonomic nervous system. How is the division of anterior autonomic nervous system as a sympathetic division, okay, and the parasympathetic division, both we have discussed. So this is all about the parasympathetic division.